Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hello everybody. Good morning. I think it's about few minutes after 11 a.m. Cameroon time. Good morning to the administration of exit. Good morning, nurses and student nurses. Good morning, the Cameroon population. I'm delighted to be live on this session as we celebrate the International Nurses Day. I'm humbled to be invited to present on the topic overseas job opportunities. I think I've been introduced, and I don't know if I have anything to add. That's all about me. I'm a Cameroonian. Presently, I'm based in the US, where I'm undergoing my master's program in nursing, specialization in clinical nursing. So today, I will be talking on overseas job opportunities for nurses. And as we celebrate Nurses Day, um, I'm so delighted that universities and institutions like EXIS are grooming what I call new generation nurses, whom we want them to come out to explore all the necessary and available opportunities both within the country and out of the country, of course, if you have the opportunity to do so. So I will let you guys know the opportunities on how you can be able to work in the US, in the UK and Northern Ireland, in the United Arab Emirates, and in Qatar. So this presentation is brought to you by MJN Healthcare Consulting. For you to know, this is a healthcare organization that has been existing for about 7 years with head office in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. So what we do is assist healthcare professionals from all over the world. Mostly we are focused in Africa. And during these years, we have been able to place over 200 healthcare professionals in the UAE. We assist them in the licensing process, being medical doctors, nurses, midwives, laboratory technicians. We do that. We also do for the UK, the US, Qatar, but only for nurses. But we place all healthcare professionals in the UAE. So, how can you become a nurse in the US, United States of America? As you guys prepare to graduate, I'm aware in this seminar today there are also nurses who have been working for years, and maybe you have plans to work in the US. You've been hearing that nursing do pays well in the US, and you don't know how to go about. What you need to do is to meet the requirements. That's the first step. That's the first step. And most of you complete with a 3 years diploma, what we call HND, or those with state registered nursing diploma. Overseas, you are a registered nurse, either a 3 years diploma or a bachelor degree in nursing. You are a registered nurse and you are qualified to work in the US and any part of the world. The next, you have to be licensed in your home country. You have to be licensed. Upon completion, please belong to your home country nursing association. You have to fulfill all the requirements. Unless you are licensed as a registered nurse, then you are able to undergo this process. Next is your ordinary level and high school, which is your entry qualification into your professional training. Then you have to have 2 years of work experience. However, you can still undergo this process as a new graduate, okay, as a new graduate, because it takes time. I will get to that for the evaluation to go through and for you to take the exam. You have to take IELTS. IELTS means International English Language Testing System. It's a language proficiency exam. I think most of you are aware about this. For those who want to study abroad, you have to take this exam. However, In the US, we have 50 state boards of exam, which some of them do not require you to present the language proficiency. And when we submit your papers, we go in for those who do not require that. But remember, it is needed at one point of the process, which I'm going to tell you. Let's move next. Step 2, when you have all these documents, we have to submit them for evaluation. Okay, they have to evaluate your credentials. That's your education, your license. The high school is not to be evaluated. The experience is not to be evaluated. Just your academic certificates and your nursing license, what you call attestation of enrollment, and you have to be updated, means you pay your yearly dues. So we have many bodies that are authorized to do this evaluation. We have Commission on Graduate for Foreign Nursing Studies. We have Education Record Evaluation Service, and we have Joseph Sini and Associate. Now, these bodies, the one that is so experienced and evaluate credentials for most African countries is what we call ARES. Presently, CGMS, you may want to know this, accept only one association in Cameroon. We have about 3 or more associations in Cameroon. Don't bother yourself. They are all okay. They have their recognition, they have their affiliation, and they work independently. It's cool to go. So you have to submit your documents to either of these to be evaluated. After this evaluation, you have to pay for peer review. And then there's what we call criminal background check, okay? Don't bother, don't be worried. FBI will not come for you. You just have to get the fingerprint card and send to you. You take them to the police and they assist you to do the fingerprinting. And then you send them back to the body concerned. Then after that, you have to wait for what we call authorization to test. You will be authorized to book for the exam and take the exam. So when that happens, you take the exam, what they call NCLEX. That is the exam you have to take in order to be authorized to work in the US. Then after that, like I said, at one point you will need to take the IELTS. This is just for immigration purpose, okay? For those who are out of the US, you have to take the IELTS. For the employer to submit for your immigration, for your green card, that's when you take the IELTS. Now, when that is done, the next we assist you to get an employer. Employers are always available. What they need from you, have you passed the NCLEX? So we assist you up to this point, and then we link you up to the employers. And then you do the interview. We guide you on how to undergo the interview. When you pass the interview, the employer will initiate the immigration. That's what we call the green card. Okay? Your permanent work permit, work visa. And then you're good to go. You travel to the US and you start working as a registered licensed nurse. Now, this process is a little bit expensive. I don't want to present the expensive, the cost section in this presentation. We can do that after this session. So this is what you have to know as far as working in the US. We will move to the next country. The next country will be the UK. Now, in the hall there, I'm very much aware that all of the participants in this seminar are members of the Cameroon Association for Registered Nurses and Midwives. You have to belong to this association. Upon completion of your studies, please register, get your attestation of enrollment, get your membership card, and get all the necessary documents. I am very much aware, I'm a Cameroonian. I studied in Cameroon before traveling to the UAE, where I've been there for 10 years before moving to the US. I know that it is not mandatory to be licensed before working, but my only good advice is for you to belong to your nursing association upon graduation, okay? You never know when you need that. So how can you work in the UK? United Kingdom, and Northern Ireland. You have to meet the requirements, same like before. But here, you need to have at least 12 months of working experience, meaning you cannot just leave school and start the process. You have to complete and then you work for a year, then you can begin the process. Because at this point, we have to submit the experience letter, what we call service letter, okay? And in this case also, you have to present IELTS. There is IELTS or OET. OET means Occupational English Test. Now you have to meet particular scores in order to undergo this. Now, I don't know if we have OET centers in Cameroon, but I'm very much aware that we have IELTS centers in Cameroon. I think at the British Consulate, the centers are there in Yaoundé. So you have to take this exam and you meet this course in order to begin the process. When you have done that, when you have this, we will submit your documents for credentials evaluation. And the UK process is very simple. You may want to know. Let me give you the time frame. For the US, to undergo all of this, you can take 1 year, 6 months. You can take 1 year, 6 months. For the UK, when you start to finish, if you are ready to take your IELTS exam and you are ready to take your CBT exam, you can go within 4 to 6 months. What you need to know, what you need to do is to pass the English language exam. So we will submit your documents and we will include a reference name and email, somebody who will reply from your workplace and from the association. Of course, we have the president of the Cameroon Association of Registered Nurses and Midwives, who is in charge of replying all the emails, and that will make it so easy for you guys. So when you do this, you will have the authorization to take CBT. CBT means computer-based test. It's a computer-based test, just multiple choice exam. I know you guys are in school. You've been trained for the multiple choice exam and it is not a problem for you. You are very much aware and you are able to take any international exam. The third step for you will be to take the IELTS or OET. When you have this authorization to take the CBT, now what most people do, you can decide to take IELTS before CBT, but I always advise you take your CBT first and then you take your English language proficiency exam later. When you have these two exams, we will link you up to employers. Okay, they will interview you and they will do background check, and if you pass, they submit your documents for visa processing and you travel to the US. Now, for you to know, this process is in 2 steps, 2 parts. Part 1, you can do it while in Cameroon, and part 2, when you travel to the US, you will have to do part 2 of the process, which is for you to take the objective structured exam, what they call the OSCE exam. Now, when you arrive at the UK, you are able to work as a healthcare assistant while your employer prepares you to take the practical exam. That is not even a problem for you. You will be guided and everything will move. So when you pass this exam, that is where you have your PIN. You are being registered into the NMC system, Nursing and Midwife Council of the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland. At this point, you are okay to work as a full-time registered nurse. This is the process for you to work in the UK. Like I said, it takes about 4 to 6 months. Depending on how quick you're able to pass your CBT exam and your IELTS or OET exam. You can take OET first try, second try, it's okay, it's okay. The next is the UAE. Now, I have been in the UAE for almost 10 years. I'm just new in the US where I just started my master's program. Like I said before, our company is based in Abu Dhabi, UAE. We have so many Africans from many countries, Cameroonians, Ghanaians, Nigerians, Zimbabwe, whom we have helped to work in the UAE. And we are proud of that. In the UAE, United Arab Emirates, there are four boards. We have the Department of Health, Abu Dhabi. We have Dubai Health Authority. So many, Dubai is not a country. Dubai is one of the Emirates. The country is UAE. We have Ministry of Health and we have Dubai Healthcare City. You can decide to take the exam from any of these boards. So what do you need? Requirements as usual. So in the UAE, unfortunately, if you have a diploma as an SRN or HND, you are only authorized to work as an assistant nurse. Only those who have a 4-year degree are authorized to work as registered nurses. If you have a diploma from at least 18 months up to 3 years, you take the exam as an assistant nurse. Okay? So for the diploma, you need at least 1 year experience. For bachelor's degree, you need 2 years. And good news from last year, new graduates do not need to present a work experience. Means you guys right there, right now, new graduates, you are okay to begin the process and work in the UAE. You need to have a license. You need to have what we call good standing. The president of Cameroon Association of Registered Nurses and Midwives is very much aware about that. You need to have your ordinary level. Basic life support. You don't need it while you are still in Cameroon. You will need it when you are in the UAE, because we don't have the exam center to take the UAE exam in Cameroon. So when we submit your document for verification, you have to move to the UAE to take the exam and then start work. Okay? And for Qatar, you will need your CV and your national ID card and your passport. Now, the next step, when we have all these requirements, we have to submit for what we call primary source verification. It's the same as credential evaluation. They call it primary source verification. We will submit these documents for verification, and after it goes between a month and 2, and you will have a document called data flow report. The report will come out with analysis of your academic credential, your experience, your license, and your good standing certificate. Okay. At this time, this is when we move to the UAE. We book your exam and then you take your exam. When you pass, and then we apply for what we call eligibility letter. That is for Dubai Health Authority and for evaluation certificate for the Ministry of Health and Prevention. For the Department of Health Abu Dhabi, when you pass your exam, you are good to go. You get an employer and they activate your license. You start working immediately. Now, for Dubai Health Authority and Ministry of Health, when you submit your document for verification, you can take the exam while the verification is ongoing. This is the good part of it. You can take your exam, you can have approval to take the exam while the verification is ongoing. But you have to pass the exam and wait for the verification to be completed for you to apply for eligibility letter and evaluation certificate respectively. That is that. When you have passed your exam, we get you an employer and we guide you on how to undergo the interview and everything. We guide you and you're done. And the employer will activate your license and you are okay to go. I don't know, I had to be a little bit fast because the director said I have 40 minutes to present this, and that was why I was a bit fast. And I can say I have come to the end of my presentation. I hope you got me so well, and we are always available. That's our WhatsApp number, and at any time, get in touch with us. We're here to assist you. New nurses, I call you guys new generation nurses. and we're out here to groom you. I know you're getting world-class education from your institution. I wish you all the best and happy celebration of the International Nurses Day. And thank you so much. Bye-bye from my end.
Thank you so much. Please sit down your question.
Okay, that's great.
Okay. Can you get it?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, the question is the 1 year work experience. Is it in one hospital or you can get it cumulatively in different hospitals?
You can get it in different hospitals. However, it will cost you to evaluate them because as per for the UAE, you have a maximum of 2 experience letters to submit, your academic credentials, your license and good standing for a fixed amount. Any additional document will be taxed. You have to pay for. So if you have more than 2 experience letters, you have to pay for the third one.
Please, somebody is asking about the wages, the salary range. How much can we expect if we are working in UAE, in US, in UK?
Okay. For the US, it will depend on the board of nursing, the state that you're working, and you can earn in UK, in US, you've been paid per hour. You can earn from $28 to $30 per hour, and you can work from 40 to 80 hours in a week. $25 to $30. Some state can pay more than $30 per hour. And depending on facility, is your facility on 12-hour shift or 8-hour shift, you can multiply and you'll see how much you will earn. And you have to work 40 to 48 hours depending on the state. Some you work 46 hours, some 48 hours, some 40 hours. Then you can multiply per week. Get that? You can see how much you're earning. That's huge. For UK, remember when you do the first part back home, you travel, you're working as healthcare assistant, you have to start earning a particular amount until when you become a registered nurse. So when you become a registered nurse, you're earning from 22 to 27,000 pounds a year. You can divide it in a month, you will know how much you will earn. 22 to 27,000 pounds a year in the UK. For the UAE, the salary depends on the emirate you're working in. Salary in Dubai is different from salary in Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi pays more than Dubai. Now, for an assistant nurse, a licensed assistant nurse, that is a nurse with diploma down, up to 18 months course, you can start earning in Dubai as from 4,000 to 5,000 dirhams. That is about, in France CFA, will be 600 to 850,000 francs per month. Okay. In Abu Dhabi, you can, for an assistant nurse, you can earn from 4,000 to 6,000. That is almost 900 to a million francs CFA in a month. Now, if you're a female, you earn more. UAE is an Arab country. The regard females more than male. Registered nurse in Abu Dhabi, you can earn from 6,000 to 8,000. That is a million plus francs CFA. While registered nurse in Dubai, you can earn from 5,000 to 6,000, 7,000. That is a million plus. Okay? Did I answer your question, please?
Yes, sir. I think the question is answered. Any other question, please? Okay, they are asking, what about traveling with your family?
Traveling with your family is possible for UK and US. When you meet all the requirements for the US, when you pass the NCLEX and you have an employer, they apply for your visa, including your family. You can travel with your dependent, meaning your husband, your wife, And your children, your immediate children, you can travel with them. Same for the UK, you can travel with your family. In the UAE, uh, they don't give you the offer to travel with your family. Remember, you have to be in the UAE to get a job. It's not the same like UK and US. You have to be in the UAE, you get a job, you start working, and then your permanent work permit permits you to apply for your dependent. It means you can apply visa for your family under you, okay? And they meet you. What I always advise is uh, you travel, you start working, and then you know the country in about 6 months, and you decide to bring your family or not for the UAE, because and the salary is not that much for you. Like if you have children who are going to school, you will not be able to pay the fees. But the process, the procedure, and to start working in the UAE is very simple. It's very easy. You can easily start working there, and you make a good living, and you take care of your family, and then you plan to go to another country. Which now the process for the US is a little bit expensive. It is expensive. I cannot say a little bit. It's expensive for somebody to do it from Cameroon unless you have actually saved some money. There are so many nurses. I have advice. We can go one on one after this if you need more advice, because we can't do that right now. Why you should go to the UAE or the UK unless you are financially capable to process for US from home.
Okay, thank you, sir. Maybe one last question. Can you just give us an approximate cost, maybe to process for the US, for the UK, and UAE?
Well, it will be difficult to give because you guys, you asking question on the cost. Actually, when I prepared this presentation, I did not want to involve the cost. Um, can well, I have some documents here, because even on my list, I have the step-by-step cost. If I want to give you approximate, I can give you an exaggeration or an underestimate. So I would like to answer this question individually. Individually. Sorry about that. Unfortunately, I did not plan to talk about the cost here. Yeah.
Okay. I think we want to thank you so much, sir, for your time. We know it's you have to get up at earlier because you're supposed to be in bed. We thank you so much, and we appreciate all the inputs you've made.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for having me. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Cameroon Association of Registered Nurses and Midwives. Do celebrate your International Nurses Week. Have a wonderful day, and bye bye from my end.